本节目由换个姿势看电竞的超神电竞 APP 赞助播出，苹果用户快去 App Store 下载哦。
Hey guys, what's going on? This is Pants Our Dragon, and today we'll be doing a little video on the top 5 best AD carries for solo queue. So it has been 2 patches since I've done this video, and I think we need to do a little update on what has changed since then, as there has been a lot of buffs to certain champions, and a lot of nerfs to other characters. There is also a bunch of champions who have been appearing in solo queue that I did not expect to see. So there will be the return of honorable mentions, while also having some keystone masters changing a bit, since it's going to be a little bit more diverse with Warlord's Bloodlust. And hopefully we don't have to do this video for a very long time. And so, with all that being said, let's get started. Alright, so at number 5, we're gonna have Lucian, my favorite champion, well, in the jungle, but as an AD carry, also plausible. So this champion has really good laning phase, then a great mid game with all his dashes and kiting around teamfights and stuff, outputting a good amount of damage, and honestly, it is just a really good early game and mid game. He's pretty good at late game too, but there's definitely a lot of other AD carries who scale better than him, you know, in that late game. And the good thing about Lucian is if he comes out ahead in the laning phase, he is very hard to keep under control because of him dashing around teamfights a lot, and also he is now going Warlord's Bloodlust, so he gets a little bit more survivability. Although I do feel like there are a lot of better champions than him right now, like someone named Sivir. Alright, so this champion, she recently got a buff to her W where now it can crit. Oh, so now instead of doing 160 damage, you're gonna do 320 damage AoE, you know, but only when you crit. And now your wave clear is actually really good, and the reason she wasn't being played before is because she was a little bit underwhelming. You know, just being nerfed so much, and finally she gets a buff, and guess what, you finally get to see the victorious Sivir skin, which you've probably never seen until patch 6.4. It's actually pretty funny. Throughout the preseason and a little bit of season 6, when I saw this skin in Champion Select, I was like, who the fuck is that? And I was like, oh. And it took a little bit for me to figure out who that was. But yeah, that's how underplayed she was before. But now giving her W the ability to crit and makes her mid game and late game really strong, because you're basically doing almost double damage. Next up at number 3 is going to be High Noon Jhin. So Jhin, his laning phase is pretty strong. His Q costs like no mana, so he can keep spamming in lane without worrying about anything. And he got a bunch of little small buffs to all of his abilities and base stats in patch 6.4, and ever since then, I've been seeing him a lot more. And there's a lot of things that are good about Jhin. He's got a really good late game, he can pick people off with his W and R, he's got pretty good wave clear too, and he also has really good utility with his E, W and R. You know, 2 slows and 1 root. There's only one problem with him, and that is he has no escapes, so camping him in the bot lane is definitely doable. And assassins will definitely kill him easy peasy lemon squeezy. One thing that kinda caught me off guard was him using the Deathfire touch mastery. You know, if it were me, I'd pick Warlord's Bloodlust, but a lot of people do prefer the Deathfire touch because of the big AD ratio on it, and Jhin gets a lot of bonus AD. Next up is gonna be Calista. Calista, this champion is, well, really strong in the right hands. And I don't know how much times I've said this, but you can tell the difference between a really good Calista and a good Calista. Like, really good Calistas will hard carry team fights and the laning phase, and will just murder you. The reason I say she is hard to play is because you gotta play around the execute mechanic with her E, know how much damage is on your E, usage of her ultimate, and the extreme kiting of her, you know, passive. And her in the mid game, oh my god, it's just terrible, especially if she gets ahead. She'll start buying like lifesteal and starts gauge and become unkillable. She's also got a lot of bot lane combo synergy like Alistair, Soraka, and Thresh, which is apparently a really hard lane for an enemy, as they can both pull each other away, and also provide a lot of damage. And finally, coming at number 1 is going to be Kozma. So Kozma in this patch, well, he didn't get nerfed. I actually think he got buffed. I already kinda explained it in another video, but TLDR, he's got more magic damage in the mid game and late game. And also all the nerfs were directed at his early game. So yeah, he still scales really fucking hard. Probably the best AD carry you'll want in the late game. And it actually is kind of hard to itemize against him since he actually does more physical damage than magic damage. And you know, this champion is so funny that you can just stand still, right click, don't do anything, and you'll probably win the team fight. As long as someone is healing you, supporting you, peeling for you, yeah, just activate your W and you'll probably win. But yeah, I actually feel like this champion is number 1, at least in my tier list. Some others might say, you know, Calista is number 1, or maybe even Lucian, but it's just my opinion and what I think, and whenever I play AD carry, it's either him or Sivir. I might pick up Jhin, but I don't think I'm as good as some other Jhin players in my elo. Next up, we're going to be doing some honorable mentions, and first up is going to be Azrael. So Azrael, the only nerf he received was the R cooldown nerf. It's now 120 seconds instead of 80, so he can't just do a global wave clear or snipe people as much, and it did hurt him just a little bit, but he is still pretty good. But I stopped using him. And then there's Corki, but he's a mid laner, although if you want, play him in the AD carry role. And then finally, a champion that I really want to talk about is Ashe. So she received some buffs in patch 6.4, where now the flurry duration is 5 seconds instead of 4, and now the stacks decay once every 4 seconds, but there was also a previous buff in 5.24, where they decreased the maximum stacks needed to activate Q to 4. And so in 6.4, I've been seeing her a little bit more, but she is really good at being a utility AD carry, for initiating teamfights, applying a lot of slow on the enemy team, and also doing a lot of damage with her Q. The thing that changed about her in the preseason though, was that she can activate her Q more than once in a teamfight, since it was on a fairly long cooldown after you'd activate it. But she is also in my champion pool for the AD carries, just because of how easy she is to use, and I do feel that she is pretty good. Next up, we're going to be answering some questions from our last AD carry tier list video, and IBM Crew 1 asks Tristana, and my response is, she needs buffs. Honestly, she needs some buffs. Then maybe she'll be in the meta. Hello Geeks 09L asks, so what about Vayne? I actually think she's in a good spot, but I feel like her counters are in the meta right now, and her laning phase is not the best. So you don't want to pick her in a matchup where you kind of get countered. And then Noah asks, so is Draven still at the point of great if you main him but shit if you don't? The answer is yes. Well, not shit, but, you know, you could be exceptionally better if you mained them. And yeah, that is the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments below on who is your favorite AD carry at the moment. Mine's actually Jhin. He feels really fun at the moment, and I just enjoy playing him a lot in normals. Maybe I'll bring it out one day in ranked, but I'll stick to Kozma. But yeah, let me know your favorite AD carry in the comments below. And if you did like this video, make sure to leave a like, and if you didn't, leave a dislike. Dislikes actually help too, but preferably I'd like a like. And if you want to see more future videos like this, make sure to subscribe. And I am Handsome Dragon, and I'll see you guys next time. Look how I just shit on her. Watch this shit. What a shitter. Come here, bitch. Hey, fuck. This bitch is owning me. What happened?